Hey, Antonio. It's good
Hey,
to see
what's up,
you.
Doc? How you doing, man? Yo, it's good to see you too.
You look comfortable.
Thanks. Yeah, I just sat down. I
No,
don't. You want me to move?
you're fine.
It's a nice couch. I am comfortable. Thanks.
How's
Yeah.
everything going?
Same shit, different day. I can't complain.
Same shit, different day? I can understand that, man.
Exactly. You know what it is. You know.
Tell me something.
What's up?
Do you remember today's prompt?
Yeah. Today's prompt is childhood memories, right?
That's it. Yeah. I'm glad you remembered.
I'm glad I
Now,
remember.
I want you to take your time,
Okay.
okay? There's
Sure.
no
What's
rush.
up?
I'm
Got it.
ready when you are.
Okay.
And when you're ready, tell me your story.
I remember watching Saturday morning cartoons while my dad is in the kitchen making peaches and cream. It's the simplest dish ever. It's just milk, sugar, vanilla extract, and peaches, and some biscuits. He'd make this on Saturdays, and I just remember looking forward to him while I watch morning cartoons. It's a pretty good memory of mine.
Ryan Little.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cooking with Buddha. Today we're making peaches and cream, my dad's version, anyhow. For this, you're gonna need 4 peaches, some sugar, some milk, and some vanilla extract. It's very simple. You can kind of play around with the measurements. It's totally up to you. I have 4, but I'm actually gonna put 3 peaches diced with the skin on. I mean, you can peel your peaches if you want. I'm not that big of a stickler for it. I don't mind. But you're gonna dice up your peaches, and then you're gonna place them in the bowl. So give me 1 second while I do the dicing. All right. Now, once all your peaches are diced and you have them in your mixing vessel or your vessel of choice, I'm going with the glass bowl here for aesthetics. We're gonna put on about half a cup of sugar. Again, you can eyeball this. You can adjust it to your personal taste. I think I put in about 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla extract and about a cup of milk, 1.25 cups of milk. Again, you just want to play with this. There's no exact measurements. This isn't science. You just want to, give it a mix. And you want to taste it to make sure it tastes how you want it to taste. I like mine a little sweet, and it's perfect. So what we're going to do now, we're going to cover this with cling film or saran wrap, wherever you're from, however you say it. And we're going to let this chill out in the fridge and get this nice and cold, because I personally like this dish cold. Now, while it's in the fridge, we're going to work on our buttermilk biscuits. So my dad uses the Pillsbury's dough that you can buy in the grocery store, but we're making this from scratch. All right. So for this, you're going to need about 312 grams of all-purpose. Words are hard. 312 grams of all-purpose flour, or it comes out to about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and you're going to give that a nice whisk with your hands or utensil of choice. I use my hands, of course. And then I'm just going to take in about a stick of frozen butter that I diced up ahead of time. And then we're going to just crumb this together with the flour. So you want to just do this. You can do this with your hands, fork, or they have kitchen tools for this. I'm using my fingers because why not, right? You're just going to pinch the butter between your fingers and the flour until you get like this sand-like consistency. You want to try and use your fingertips. If you have hot hands or warmer hands than usual, you can use a fork, or like I said, they have utensils for this. The key purpose here, or the main thing here, is that you want to work fast because you don't want your butter to melt. So what I do is I dice my butter up ahead of time, and then I pop it in the freezer until I'm about to use it. And so once your dough gets to like that sand-like consistency, we're gonna make a well, and then in that well, we're gonna add in a cup of cold buttermilk and about 2 teaspoons of honey. Words are hard today. 2 teaspoons of honey. Give that a mix. Mix it around in the bowl. It should be like a nice shaggy dough, but my dough was super wet, so I needed to add some flour. So your dough should not look like this. It should be a little bit more supple and less sticky. If your dough is sticky, it's okay. Just add some flour to it. And you want to work this gently and quickly, and you don't want to overwork it because you don't want the butter to melt. So here I am, I'm just adding some little flour to make it more manageable so I can, work with the dough. And I will be honest, like biscuit doughs and crumb doughs aren't my best doughs. Like I'm still learning. So this is definitely a learning experience, but I'm not gonna lie, these biscuits, you know what? I hate words today. These biscuits were pretty delicious, even how I overworked them. But once you get them out, once you get your dough laid out and formed, you want to get like about 3/4 of an inch thick, and just take your biscuit cutter and just cut out some biscuits. You just rinse and repeat with the dough. You want to try to work it as least as possible if you can, but it's okay. I overworked my dough, and these biscuits were delicious. So once you have your biscuits, you're gonna brush them with some buttermilk, and then you're gonna pop these in a preheated oven that's at 425. And you're gonna let these beautiful babies bake for about 15 minutes or until the tops of the biscuits are golden brown. And then once they come out, bye-ow, look at that, baby. You got beautiful homemade buttermilk biscuits. All right. Now here's the thing. This is where my dad recipe comes to an end. All right. Remember the peaches and cream we had earlier that's been chilling? It's time to eat up. So you just take it out, you put some in a bowl, and you pair it with a very warm, buttery, delicious buttermilk biscuit. And for some reason, that combination of like the sweetness from the peaches and cream and like the buttery savoriness and warmth from the fresh biscuit, like I don't know what it is, but it has always been like a thing that I love in my childhood. And I thought I could make it today and share it with y'all, But I think we can make it better. I really think that I can make it better, but how? So before we do that, let's taste it real quick. Let me just make sure this tastes like nostalgia, because I'll be doing y'all a disservice if it didn't taste like nostalgia or my childhood. And I promise you it does. It tastes like the same thing that my dad used to make for me when I was a kid on Saturday mornings when I was watching cartoons. All right, so I think I figured out the way to make this better. So we're gonna make a sponge cake instead of a biscuit. All right, so we're gonna take 6 large eggs that have been sitting at room temperature, and we're gonna beat those to death. Exaggeration, of course. And we're gonna slowly add in a cup of sugar. You just add little by little over time. I think it took me about anywhere between like 6 to 9 minutes to get everything fully incorporated. Take your time. There's no rush here. There's really no rush. All right. So, and just make sure once your sugar is fully incorporated into your eggs, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly fold in our dry ingredients. And for our dry ingredients, we have a cup of all-purpose flour and half a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm gonna fold this in batches. I did this in batches of 3s, but you're gonna fold this in gently and until you see no more streaks of white flour or anything like that. And if you do, just gently fold it until you can get the bulk of it away. And you're just gonna sit here and fold this. I got a nice arm workout out of this because for some reason the flour didn't want to fully incorporate to the wet. But once you get that done, I'm gonna divide this up between 2 9-inch round cake tins or cake pans or what have you. You can eyeball this or you can weigh it. If you happen to have white streaks in your batter once you pour it out, I just mix it up in the pan. Don't tell nobody, all right? They're not gonna know. You should also make sure that your oven is preheated at 350 degrees, and also make sure that your cake tins are lined with parchment. And don't be like me and be lazy and forget to go buy parchment, because you will have a hard time getting these to release from the pan. So into an oven these go. Like I said, 350 degrees for about anywhere between 24 to 28 minutes. I think the sweet spot for me is about 25. Once they're done, take them out and get them out of the cake tins and let them cool on a wire rack. All right. Now, while these things cool on the wire rack, we're gonna make our whipped cream. I'm gonna take a cup of heavy cream, about a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and about 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar or confectioner sugar. Now here's where I wanted to make it a little bit more elevated. I wanted to add in an ounce of peach Crown Royal or peach liqueur, but I couldn't have any, and it was raining, and I didn't want to get wet and go for it. So you can do what you want, add any flourishes or whatever you want to your whipped cream. You're gonna whip this up until it becomes nice and stiff. Don't over whip it, because if you over whip it, you're gonna end up making very sweet and vanilla flavory butter. So don't do that. Keep an eye on it. And I like mine like the consistency of Cool Whip, you know? I don't know how to explain it. You're gonna take our sponge cake and we're gonna punch it out with a biscuit cutter or whatever thing you want. And then, so I'm gonna use the biscuit cutter as like a mold, right? So I'm gonna take some of my peaches and cream, put it on top of our sponge cake, and make sure to get some of that milk in there so it can absorb into the sponge cake to give it a little bit more pizzazz, some more character, right? Then I'm gonna take our whipped cream and just put this on top and kind of even it out and make like a little, you know, make it look presentable, make it look nice, you know, make it look nice. You can do this however you want to do this. I'm just doing this for purely aesthetics, right? You can put this, you can do a whole cake this way. You can do this in squares. You can put this in a loaf pan. The way you present this is endless, you know? And then you just serve it up real simple with some sliced peaches on top. I think that's, you know, pretty good rendition of my dad's peaches and cream. Let's taste it. Be honest with you, the sponge cake is really soft, you know? And then like immediately you get like the sweetness from the whipped cream, and then you get like the peaches come through, and then the sponge cake is nice and soft and it has soaked up a lot of that sweet milk mixture. Like, this is heaven. Like, this is what my dad should have been making for me as a kid. But I'm not gonna lie, I prefer this over my dad's, but this is a lot harder to make. But I'm proud of myself. I just really wish I would have some peach liquor to go in this to make it more adult themed, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna finish the rest of this. Thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like it and drop a comment below. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss any videos, all right? Let me finish this, then I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Until next time, peace.